morning. It's March the 30th, Monday morning. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope you'd like that little opening thing you just saw there at the beginning of this video. I want to talk a little bit today about my favorite musical, but to put it into context, over 100 years ago, I should say, first of all, one of the saddest parts of human history is the treatment of the Jewish people. And about 100 years ago, in Russia, there was a government policy called the pogroms. It made it very difficult for Jewish people to make a living. They were segregated and very often deported. And stories, family life kinds of stories, were told about this situation. And there was a popular way of telling these stories, kind of speeches or recitations of these stories. And one of them that was particularly popular was about the Teviar the dairyman, and about his wife and about their children and the problems that they faced as a family amongst these pogroms. And as I said, they became very popular. Teviar had an ability to kind of express his anger and frustration at the changes that were going all around him, and to do that in a context of prayer. Well, as I said, these were very popular things, and eventually the idea was to turn these stories into a musical, of all things. That musical didn't do very well at all. And so a couple decades after that, the idea came up again to do a musical, and that musical was known as Fiddler on the Roof. And as you know, that one was very popular. I have a copy of the movie, and I watch it pretty regularly. But what I really like about it is that Teviar, as he's dealing with all these frustrations, is never really all that far from God. God is like a companion, as somebody he's walking with, and he often turns to God to express his frustration, his confusion, his anger, his joys, all of those things. God is never very far away. But another thing that happens in the movie is that what they call the fourth wall is taken away, so that Teviar can address the audience directly, like he's talking to a friend. These two things combined, I think, give us a great example of what prayer can be like, to have that constant presence of God in our lives, but also to break down that fourth wall, so that we have an opportunity to think these things out loud, to try and deal with the frustrations that we face in life. Just verbalize them, say them out loud. It's a great story. It's a great example, a great instructional video on how to pray. So I thought over the next week I might occasionally mention things from Fiddler on the Roof, one of my favorite musicals. It is my favorite musical. I like some other musicals too. I'm just thinking, what's going to happen with Anne of Green Gables this summer? I hope it's going to go ahead. I hope we're able to do that in July. They might have to change it a little bit. Anne of Green Gables, stay at home. Home for school, home for school. Or isolation. Is there anything more delectable than isolation? Maybe you can come up with your own versions of Anne or other great shows like Isolate, Dolly, Isolate, Dolly. Anyway, if you come up with your own kind of things about, you can post them in the comment box. I think there's one here. Or make your own videos about reworded musicals or other songs. I don't know. Just an idea. But anyway, I want to think about prayer this week, and maybe once in a while use Fiddler on the Roof as a way for us to reflect on prayer and to express our frustrations and our joys through prayer constantly. I hope you have a wonderful day, and may God bless. Amen.